Should SDAs practice yoga? Well, the concept of yoga has its roots in Hindu religion, and Hinduism focuses on connecting to the god of the Hindus, who is known as Brahma. Today, many people practice yoga as a way of exercising their bodies, and some medical experts have shown the health benefits of practicing yoga. However, some Christians believe that yoga should not be practiced by Christians because it is inseparably connected to pagan religion. Ivan Raj explained this in an interview on AD. So let's go ahead and listen to him.
Yoga is a very vast subject, so much to understand about yoga, but we can understand about yoga only when we use the Bible. Without the Bible, we won't understand the yoga.
Interesting. You know, yoga has become very popular in the West over the last couple decades. What do you think brought yoga over, and why has it become so widely accepted as both a kind of an exercise and a spiritual practice, do you think?
Sure. So first of all, I noticed that in the West, Christianity has been diluted. So all of us humans, we want to look for something to hope on or trust on and build our faith on, something or someone. But when the Bible has been diluted, so West had to find something elsewhere. So what they did was, at that time they brought in a Freemason from India in the late 1800s. His name is Swami Vivekananda from India. So he's an Indian Freemason, and our amazing discoveries viewers can, if they can remember the name, they can type Swami Vivekananda, a Freemason, and you can see his picture with the Freemason apron. And so basically Indian Freemason introduced yoga to the American communities.
That's absolutely fascinating. Do you think most people realize that they're doing something spiritual when they're exercising? Can yoga be just an exercise? Is there a way to separate it from its spiritual practice, or is it impossible, even if you're just doing basic yoga stretching, to separate it from the spiritual aspect?
So I get this a lot, the same question. So let's say, for example, let's say I do this. Can I just say I'm just doing this for the sake of doing it, but I'm not a Roman Catholic? I cannot say that, because this belongs to Roman Catholicism, right? So likewise, we can never separate the yoga from its spirituality. And yoga is one of the 6 schools of Hindu teachings. 6 schools. So one of the 6 is yoga. And yoga is atheistic in nature. And there's another, out of the 6, there's one more teaching in Hinduism. It's called Samkhya. Samkhya means numbers. It is a theory. It is theoretical, and yoga is the practical aspect of Samkhya philosophy. And so yoga is a Hindu ritual. There's no way you can separate yoga from its spirituality. If the West says, or Christians, many Christians say that, oh, I just do the stretching, I don't chant, I don't do meditation, I just do the stretching, so that's fine. But if you say that to a good Hindu, it's going to offend the Hindu, because it's a sacred practice for Hindus. And the stretches have meaning to, each stretch in yoga has a meaning. For example, there's warrior pose, warrior 1, warrior 2, warrior 3. So in the yoga studios, they say, okay, let's do warrior pose, and then people do the warrior postures, right? People think, okay, it's going to help my back, or it's going to help me get flexible and so forth. However, warrior 1, 2, 3, the meaning is it is an act of beheading. So when they do the first warrior 1 this way, so it's an act of beheading, and they have to bend, and then it's an act, it represents the lifting the beheaded head and then placing it on a trident of one of the Hindu gods. So that is warrior 1, 2, and 3, and people can research and find out. There are also sun salutation postures. In that, there are 12 postures, out of those 12, there's one particular posture which is very popular among the Westerners. It's called downward dog. But if you look at the meaning of each of those postures, and I invite our Amazing Discourse viewers to research on meaning of the 12 poses or stretches or asanas of sun salutation, and you will find that it is all for sun worship. So every pose in the sun salutation has a meaning to it.
In Hinduism, what is the end goal for Hindus doing this practice? What is the attainment that they're seeking?
Okay, great question. So in Hinduism, when it comes to yoga, it is the ultimate goal is to be like God. So the teaching is there is no God, you are the God, but you don't know you are the God, or you are God or goddess. So as on doing yoga, initially it is good physically. It does provide benefits, whether it is whatever the issue or the ache may be on the body. But as a person keeps on doing it without their knowledge, it becomes a spiritual posture. Now, I'm not saying this. Yoga teachers, very good yoga teachers who are devout Hindus, say that.
All right, so friends, according to Ivan Raj, yoga is something that Adventists, or let me say Christians, should not practice because it is highly connected to Hindu religion. I made a research about yoga and I found this, and I want to share that with you. In fact, what I found was similar to what Ivan Raj shared with us right now. So let's go ahead and read what we have on our screens. This part of the article says, why should you stay away from yoga? We are bombarded by messages of yoga's peaceful and helpful benefits, but what we don't hear, especially in the United States, is the true origins of this type of lifestyle. Lorette made it very clear to me in a recent phone interview. These are postures that are offered to the 330 million Hindu gods. Yoga postures really are. They are offerings to the gods. If you do these postures and you do this breathing technique and this meditation, then you will be accepted by a god, little Jane. That's a real danger, she said. And this part also says, can yoga and its religious roots be separated? Some who have been concerned about Eastern influences of yoga have looked to Hatha Yoga for answers, since Hatha Yoga is supposed to simply be the flexibility exercise without the spiritual influences. But Lorette is convinced that yoga and Hinduism are inextricably linked, and beyond that, there can be no such thing as Christian yoga. Christian yoga is an oxymoron, said Lorette. It is like saying someone is a Christian Buddhist or a Christian Hindu. What some people are doing is that they are trying to make yoga Christian. Even Hindus are saying that you cannot do that. So friends, this is what I found about yoga. And of course, there are a lot of health benefits according to some medical experts about yoga, but it is highly connected to Hindu religion. So if yoga is found not to be good for Christians, then I think we can do other exercises or we can find option. Let me say this, yoga is not in the Bible. The Bible doesn't mention yoga. But if something will lead to the worship of any other god, then we should put it aside. That is what I think. So, as I said, let me know what you also think in the comment section. My name is Brother Lawrence, as usual. Thanks for watching and see you next time.